Hello, dear souls. My name is Tsunami Diamond. Welcome to my presentation on accelerating ascension. I hope you've been enjoying the unified experience thus far. It's been a very powerful day as so many of us from around the world are uniting together on this very special 11/11 day. 11/11 in 2021 as we get ready to enter a new pivotal time period, 2022. And 11/11 actually in numerology comes together to be the 22. And I really foresee so much powerful changes upon us as we get ready to finalize this year and get ready to enter into a new year. There's so much going on around the planet right now, and depending upon what perspective you are tuning into, you will either be in a place of fear, unfortunately, like a lot of people are in right now around the planet as they're consuming the media and the news stories and the messages that are designed to bring people into that state. And these things that are unfolding around the planet right now are nothing new. They've been talked about for many of years. The plans that are unfolding right now and the agendas that are unfolding right now have been meticulously planned out for quite some time. And this time that we're entering into as we enter in the next golden age of humanity, and we truly get ready for the ascension of humanity. And what is ascension? Part of ascension is a raising of vibration, a raising of dimensions. We have existed for a long time within the third dimension, within that density, which is a very lower on the vibrational scale compared to these higher dimensional planes that exist. And right now, what's taking place is a raising of not just frequencies, but also our vibration and oscillation within our bodies, within ourselves, also with the planet, with Gaia. And it's very exciting, which is some of the things that I want to talk about today in this talk is how to accelerate the ascension, not only accelerating the ascension of our own personal lives and our personal vessels, our temples, but also how we can accelerate the ascension of humanity, of the collective as a whole. And this is something I'm very passionate about. I've been passionate about this and have been on this path for the last 7 years. A little bit of who I am. I've had many different paths in my life and different chapters of my life. And I've always been someone to follow my inner guidance and my intuition. And sometimes that has led me to having people say, you need to choose one thing and stick with it. Otherwise, you're not ever going to master it. Well, if you don't stick with something long enough, that is true, because mastery comes with time. Mastery comes with experience and dedication of hours on end. And I've put in that time and dedication as I've dived deep in regards to ascension, in regards to regeneration of the planet, in regards to health, in regards to what really needs to be done right now as we enter the golden age, as we create and co-create and build a new earth. So right now on the planet, what I see is two timelines existing simultaneously. You have the timeline, which can be the perception of fear, of what a lot of people are in right now, and fear and sorrow and looking around the world and thinking the world is doomed. But then also you have the perception and the timeline of a creation of a new earth. A new earth that is getting birthed simultaneously as the old earth and the old systems are collapsing before our eyes. And in regards to building this new earth, there's many things that need to be done. We really, truly need to start creating all new systems around the planet, whether those be our economic systems, our monetary, our schooling, our education, our health systems, our media, our music, our communities and way of living. This, amongst other things, are some of the things that need done. And fortunately, there's a lot of amazing individuals around the planet that are working tirelessly, who have been for so many years, that carry different pieces of the puzzle that are so necessary to come together as we're coming together on this powerful day now, to unify our forces and the pieces of a puzzle that we each have and the vibrations that we each hold, that have the potential to add to this masterpiece that is unfolding, that is being co-created to bring forth a new earth, not one that will magically appear. Of course, it will magically appear for those that aren't aware of that timeline or tuned into it yet. As it's getting built, eventually it will be in place, and some people will have never known that it existed until they themselves start raising their vibration and going through their ascension process and awakening to what's really going on with reality. And wow, it's been quite a path for me that's led me to now this. Back in 2012, I actually retired as a celebrity hairstylist. And I was a celebrity hairstylist living in Los Angeles, doing things for movies, TV shows, runway shows. I was flying back and forth between Los Angeles and New York, and was heavily engulfed within the entertainment world, the music industry, as well as the fashion industry. And there was a lot that I learned through that phase of my life. But I reached a point where I accomplished all of the goals I set out for myself when I entered that industry. And I felt, and I had a feeling that my time had come for that path. And also I felt that I had more to give to the world than just make women look beautiful by styling hair for things of that nature. So I decided to retire from the fashion industry. And after that, I went deep into the business world and into marketing and advertising and building world-class brands for all sorts of different companies, startups, and Fortune 500 organizations. And I learned a lot of the mechanics of the business world, and as well as the tools and technologies that exist today in this modern time that we live, that give us the power to come together like we are now and share these messages. They are tools that can be used for the good, or they can be used for the bad, just as any other tool. And that period of my life then reached other transitions as I started awakening more and more and started going down the path of spirituality more and more. I grew up in religion. My father is a pastor, so I grew up in the church. My father also was a Buddhist priest from the age of 5 till he was 18 in Thailand, and he grew up in the temple until later he came to America and eventually converted to Christianity and became a pastor. So I grew up around spirituality and religion and always had a lot of questions that came to me over the years of growing up within those constructs. And I've always been a seeker for the truth, a seeker for knowledge. And over the years of doing business, I also reached a point of feeling like I had more to bring to the world than just be working for businesses that some were doing amazing things in the world, but also, others, it was just about monetary value and getting products sold. And I reached a point where I no longer wanted to do that either. I wanted to really focus all of my life and my energy in helping heal people's lives through different healing modalities and healing technologies, as well as focus on providing solutions to build a new earth. I heavily dived down the rabbit hole of what our current state of our planet is and was, and to see the devastation that has been caused by the human race over our existence, and to see the imbalances both within, masculine and feminine on the planet, the imbalances of of abundance on the planet, and all of these things that should no longer keep being and going on. We've suffered long enough. We've lived in a state of existence of surviving long enough. It is time to thrive. And I have made this my life's mission to dedicate all of my life to finding ways to connect with other individuals that have pieces of the puzzle that to help individuals all around the world to amplify our health, amplify our lives, and amplify the planet as we do the work that needs to be done. So that's a little bit about me. And just to finalize that led me to leaving the business world and leaving the agency that I had started and creating my new company, Ascended. And you can find out more about us at ascended.life, but we are taking a holistic approach on building a new earth and building systems and technologies to unify the whole, to unify all the pieces of the puzzle around the planet, all the tribes of light workers, all of the nonprofit organizations and leaders and new earth conscious music artists and creators who are passionate about sparking change in individuals' lives and having a massive impact in the world. So we're doing a lot of things within Ascended and within the Ascended Hub to make a difference and to provide everything an individual could want or need to live an ascended lifestyle, to really be inspired for mastery within your life in whatever your passions are and purpose is, because each one of us has certain blueprints and purpose and a purpose here on earth of what our piece to play in this story that's unfolding. What I see is the greatest story of human history that is literally unfolding right now, that we all chose to come and be a part of. There is all of the characters and great masters and teachers from history that are coming back to the planet right now to help us in this transition here on Earth. We have so much assistance from our ancestors that have paved the way for us to get here now. So I hope you, as you're walking this path, learn to really find what is your purpose? What is your why? Why are you here? What gifts do you have to share with the world to make a difference in another person's life? How can you each and every day start ascending in all ways of your life, whether that be ascending your health, ascending your community, ascending your business, ascending your relationships with your partner, with your children, with your friends, with your coworkers. This is what I see is the ascended path, is the path of ascension, is always raising the bar to a higher level. How can we love more? How can we deepen more into service? How can we deepen more into reverence? How can we be kinder? How can we be softer? How can we be more balanced? So these are some of the things that I want to talk about in regards to how we can start achieving those things on a personal level, as well as how we can start accelerating the changes on a collective level. And first, I'm going to start with the personal level, and how we can start living an ascended lifestyle, which a big part of that has to do with our daily practices, how we live our lives each and every day. And I highly recommend that if you really want to see the biggest results, that you incorporate a mixture of daily practices into your everyday life so you can be more aligned, more balanced, vibrating higher, and showing up in a more powerful way each and every day in every circumstance that you come into. You'll have more resilience and more energy to push forward consistently in whatever that needs done. So in regards to daily practices, first and foremost, one thing that is very powerful that I would suggest either starting your day with or for the later part of the day is sun gazing. Sun gazing is a powerful thing to fuel our body with energy. We have the power to eat the sun. And there is certain windows of time, which is during sunrise and during sunset, where it is okay and very beneficial to gaze and stare at the sun. I like to start my days with sun gazing in the morning, wake up nice and early, start with stretching, which is very important. Doing some type of stretching practice, some type of yoga. There's different forms of yoga. I also encourage others to get into a habit of stretching also all throughout the day. If you look at animals, a dog or a cat, pretty much every single time they go from a sitting down position, laying down position, before moving, they stretch. So it's all about constantly realigning the body, keeping the body loose, not tight, flowing energy. Because when we get tight, we get blockages, and those blockages lead to energetic blockages, which energetic blockages lead to other problems that will arise within your health, within your body, within your field. So stretching is key. Also, doing breath work. There's many different forms of breath work, but the breath is life. So making sure every single day for like at least 20 minutes a day, doing some intentional breathing exercises. Nice deep breathing. I like to do in and out through the nose primarily, or in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can do different forms of rhythmic breathing, out 4 seconds, in 4 seconds, nice, consistent, slow, deep breathing. You can do breathing where you're inhaling, holding, exhaling, holding. There's different breath exercises that do different things, whether that's the breath of fire, or you can also learn the Wim Hof breathing and different breathing techniques that also can make you feel very high, where by doing breathing techniques, you have the power to release DMT naturally in your brain. There's also other ways of naturally releasing DMT through dark therapy, being in the darkness for, usually a minimum of 3 days. And if you want to greatly amplify those benefits, many masters, especially like Tibetan masters and different lineages, understood the power of darkness. Because when you are in the darkness long enough, you will see the light. And an alchemy technique for truly amplifying the power of darkness retreating is by consuming gold, consuming light. Gold is essentially physical light, and consuming especially monoatomic golds, and then going into the darkness for longer periods of time has an alchemical process where it literally is activating the light and expanding the light within the body. And then via being in the darkness, it is sealing that extra light within the body. And miraculous things can take place. There are stories of people doing that combination of, let's say a 70-year-old person going in and doing that combination and coming out looking and feeling 30 years younger, where people getting healed miraculously from all sorts of different things, or raising their IQ, raising and unlocking some of their superhuman abilities, or what some might call superhuman abilities. Because truly these abilities, psychic abilities, telekinesis, all of the clairvoyance, clairaudience, all sorts of different things that are possible for all humans to unlock. I see that as we go down the ascension path, we will all be able to start unlocking more and more of these abilities. And we will get to a place of being able to truly perform miracles, and miracles will become the new normal. So aside from breath work, stretching, sun gazing, definitely, I also advise being in nature every single day. This is very important, connecting with nature, getting our shoes off. Our shoes are blocking us from our connection with nature, at least our shoes that have these rubber soles that are blocking our conductivity connection with Gaia. So getting our shoes off, getting into nature, and meditating each day as well. There's many different forms of meditation, guided meditations, affirmations, Zen meditation, whatever form of meditation suits you, but really having that time to quiet the mind and go inward, because inward into our inner universe is where we will find the source, God within us. And also another powerful tool as far as daily exercises, if you are having any type of intimacy, is tantric practices or Tao of sexology practices, sexual practices done in a spiritual way, which is a very powerful tool for spirituality and ascension and health when done in a conscious way, and when done not in an animalistic way. And for men, I highly suggest learning ejaculation. This is part of what the Tao of sexology teaches and is a powerful tool where we can keep raising more light in the body, because when men ejaculate, too often we are literally depleting our life force. So by learning the form of ejaculation, not only can you perform much better within intercourse, also you will be bringing that light inward instead of outward and be fueling the body, amplifying the body. Also, dietary, very important. I suggest not drinking alcohol, coffee, sugars, soda, processed food. If possible, I highly suggest eating vegan, eating raw, eating organic, also growing your own food if you can, growing your food with love and high vibrations. Drinking structured alkaline water, drinking lots of water, herbal teas, raw honey, doing supplements, Ormus being one of them. If you don't know what Ormus is monoatomic elements. And there's many other powerful supplements I would recommend. Haritaki is another powerful supplement. You can look it up. It is regarded as one of the king of all herbs. I also recommend taking chlorophyll. Chlorophyll also is a powerful supplement that can help expand how much light our body can intake. The more light we can bring into the body, the more we can activate the light body. We can activate dormant strands of DNA. We can raise the vibration of the body. And by raising the vibration of the body, we are also slowing down aging. And the more we raise the vibration of the body, the more we slow down the aging process. And aside from that, I can definitely recommend doing different technologies, both in the form of crystals. Crystals are very powerful technology, and Daras are one of the most powerful crystals to help with the ascension process, as long as you can get real and Daras. Other crystals I love are like moldavite and other different tektites, quartz crystal that can be programmed with intention or ascension frequencies and fully activated for that purpose. A lot of crystals are memory cards that can be, information can be stored within. Herkimer diamonds, and there's many others I would suggest looking into crystals. Scalar technologies, frequency treatments, sound healing, vibrational technologies. There's many different quantum technologies that exist that can help raise the vibration of the body, that can help activate and balance our chakras, and many other things. Frequency is life, frequency is medicine. So I definitely suggest getting some form of frequency device and starting to use those powerful technologies for our health and for our ascension. And now I would love to get into collective ascension. And collective ascension, how we can start amplifying collective ascension is really learning to truly start coming together for co-creation and collaboration. And aside from coming together on a personal level, being shining examples of what the new human can look like, of how we present ourselves in all of our interactions when we go out into the world, with how we speak to others. We have the power to make a difference and spark and ignite the ascension process for each and every individual that we come into contact with. And as we each are further progressing on the ascension path and we're raising our vibration, it also in turn already is raising the collective vibration. And in order for us to truly shine brightest, we need to get past any false beliefs that some of us have and shed any false programs that have been installed with us since we were young. And that way we can start having room to install new programs of the new earth. And there's many teachings within this talk. I can't go very deep into that, but we will be sharing many programs and teachings and things on the ascended.life platform. So I suggest checking that out, where you can learn deeper and you can come to some of our master classes or retreats that we put on around the world. And in regards to collaboration and how we can start accelerating the collaboration on the global scale with all the light workers, this is where I see technology has a part to play, and especially decentralized blockchain technology systems, such as the system we're building with Ascended, where we're building a system that mimics nature in the fractal patterns of nature, where we can build a hub that can ever keep expanding and can start connecting individuals and organizations and events and products and locations in the real world that are eco communities built to be gardens of Edens into an ever expanding system that can be used to govern this new society that we're living in. And without these technology systems to really strategize and bring together all of the people around the world and collectively start working on all these projects in a more unified way versus separate, because this is what I've seen over the years, is a lot of people having the same goals and the same visions and desires for a new earth, but a lot of projects doing similar things separately. So how do we start coming together and truly start unifying our pieces of the puzzle, our resources, which can be monetary as well as people resources, in the form of skills and things of that nature, so we can efficiently start unifying for the collective benefit and the unified vision of the whole. And this is what we're building the Ascended platform to be, both through our membership, through our ever-expanding ecosystem, through the metaverse, Ascendia XR metaverse, the New Earth metaverse that we're building, that is to be the next evolution of the internet, the immersive web, one that we can start coming together digitally in a far more immersive way, similar to like we do in the real world, in physical locations. Instead of this broken communication that takes place on existing platforms like Facebook and Instagram, where you're posting and commenting and liking, and it's very broken. We need to start coming together digitally more like we do in the real world. And that's why we're building Ascendia XR, to be an immersive, virtual, ever-expanding universe that connects all of these different experiences and worlds and indigenous tribes and leaders to start sharing this kind of wisdom, to start bringing forth the change that's so necessary. And we're really excited to be launching our platform and scaling things up in 2022, both in the forms of our technology, in our media production things of shows and documentaries, and all of the events that we'll be putting on as we get ready to go on a tour, our Ascended Timeline tour in 2022, to start, well, not start, but keep ramping up the connecting of these dots and connecting with more and more people around the world so we can be co-creating together and start accelerating the development of all of these exciting things for humanity in a time that is so necessary, and I don't feel we have time to waste. And I suggest that you also find your tribe, or find a tribe to become part of, a community to become a part of. We thrive in community. That's why I feel we're going to transition to, instead of living separately like we've become accustomed to, living in our separate houses and doing things so separate, it's time to come together. And this is why I'm so excited to be building communities as we are, our Ascendia communities, to be eco-futuristic resorts and healing villages, different key locations around the world, as well as unifying a whole global network of other villages and communities that are either built or getting built, to provide new living situations for people that are desiring to exit out of the old world and the old systems that are no longer serving us. So there's a lot more to share, but my time is coming to an end in regards to this presentation. If you have any questions or would like to connect with me or Ascended or our hub of partners, then reach out to us. You can find us at ascended.life. You can find me on my website at tsunamidiamond.com. I look forward to meeting as many of you as I possibly can on this path, and I look forward to co-creating with as many of you as I can. It's very exciting times we're living in, and I hope you learned some things from this talk and you've been inspired to start accelerating your ascension process, as well as help with the acceleration of the ascension of humanity. Thank you so much, Unified, for all of the work you've done to put together this powerful program. And I look forward to this next chapter of humanity.